Hi there, welcome to Dogecoin Wyckoff Technical Analysis session. Previously we shared Dogecoin may be near its end of accumulation cycle, and indeed this week the breakout happened like we shared. So let's take a look and see what exactly happened this week. In the chart, this weekly time frame, previously I shared that there is a pennant over here, and by the time we get to beginning of this month, a breakout should happen, and indeed that's exactly what happened this week. And the price challenge, it went through the red key level of 25 cents and challenged the 30 cents orange key level. Now the question is, how far would it go? So let's update a few things. Now that it's got to this point, I believe we can take out this test. Like I said, it's of a lower chance where we have this higher chance that's where the price is heading. So if this is the PSY, if we compare to the period last year, November, we are just starting, and it's normal that it got rejected from the orange, much like what happened here the first week of, or maybe the second week of November last year. And then we've got subsequent candles bringing Doge price to its peak back in December last year. So we hope at least something similar happen, and that the buying climax would end up challenging the key level of 47 cents. Best if it can challenge the blue key level of 57 cents, similar to what happened back in April 2021. The purple key level is a bit far over there, so if this is the moon, that's probably Mars. So it's a long way over there on the top, but hey, who knows, maybe this time it can challenge the purple. So anyway, back to here, that means the Dogecoin has just started the distribution cycle, and what we are expecting is to see a buying climax coming, whether it's at this 0.47 level or even higher. We don't know, but that's what we hope for. And just quickly check the Bollinger Band corner squeeze. Even with this week's climb, the purple lines are still kind of close to, or the top line is still within the orange. So there is still forces or the squeeze pressure gathered and yet to be fully released. So in the next few weeks we'll see how it eventually plays out, and that's like what we have seen here in September or summer 2024. The squeeze happened, and in the final stage when the pressure got released, that's where we got to the buying climax. So enough for the bigger time frame, the big picture. What we're seeing here is the daily, where we've got a very tall volume bar today. There may be somebody setting a take profit point around the orange key level. That's why we see this long wick over there. So this, given the current price, is not a second test anymore. It should be at least an upthrust, unless the candle closes to, like, becomes a cross, or like an inverted cross, closing at the level where it closes yesterday. Hopefully that's not the case. Otherwise I'll have to change it back to a second test. These LPSYs, I say those are like intermediate tests. So another thing I want to point out here is this platform period before the price shoot up. So you see this horizontal range platform over here. So it's usually a build up before a bigger price move. Okay, now all of these upward trend lines and downward trend lines is pretty much over. I'll still keep this one here because that's going to be the support line if the price comes down. Not that I see it's happening that way, but it can. So I can extend it all the way up. to the yellow key level. That's probably right. And just to make it tighter, yeah, because this triangle over here, if it continues to rise and got rejected by the yellow key level of 33 cents, by January, mid-late January, some kind of breakout event would happen. But hey, we're still like 4 months from that time, so let's not worry about that far and focus on what we have here. If that's an upthrust, it won't be surprised for the price to come down for an automatic reaction too, instead of like this automatic reaction. What I hope to see is the price continues to go up and the upthrust ends up somewhere the yellow key level is, and then the AR2, it's fine for it to come hit the orange at around 30 cents, the orange key level. Just checking if there are anything I want to talk about but missed. Okay, sign of weakness. That's high point sign of weakness, I'll give it. But we already passed that level, so it's not a big deal. Basically, all these stages we have already passed through, and what we're seeing now is the path towards an upthrust. So in short, Doge has just beginning its rocket launch, and the matter or the question is where the moon is this time. Is it the 0.47, which means the long-term value of Dogecoin? May it be the intrinsic or perceived values by the diamond hands, or the speculative values by active traders. That's where we want to see at least. Best, it goes to 57 cents. The pessimistic scenario is 38 cents, the green key level. If that happens, that means once again the long-term value of Dogecoin is declining. If it only the buying climax stops at the green level, that's not a healthy sign. I'll keep the line over here for the time being. When we get to that point, we'll be able to see whether that's the case. Hopefully it's not. So I think that's all for Dogecoin. Thanks for joining me. See you in the next session.